Hi guys, it's Janice. Welcome back to my channel. So this video today is going to be my New Year's reading resolution video. In 2015, I set a goal on Goodreads to read 50 books. I did meet that goal, but only because I read a lot of graphic novels. And while graphic novels do count, I just want to focus more on reading novels. So my Goodreads goal for 2016 is going to be to read 3 novels a month. So that's going to be an overall goal of 36 books. I don't want to disappoint myself or let myself down. I don't feel great about the 50 books that I read this year. I think I could have read a lot more. I want to read a lot more. And so I'm going to set a realistic goal for myself for next year and hope to exceed it. So I'm going to make my TBR videos only 3 books long. I'm only going to set 3 books that I plan to read each month. I'm going to pick 2 books, and then my 3rd book is going to be a TBR jar challenge book, and I'm going to go over those challenges with you right now. So a lot of the challenges that I have are from other people's challenges and things like that, but a few of them, I've picked and choose from different challenges, and a few of these are just ones that I've kind of decided that I want to do on my own. This is the jar that I'm using for my TBR jar. It just has a bunch of pieces of paper in it. It was a candle. It just has a piece of paper with 2016 TBR jar. There are 20 challenges in here. Obviously there's going to be some left over, but those can roll over to 2017, or maybe I can do, if I have read the 3 books early enough in the month, I can pull a second one out or something like that throughout the year. I just don't want to get to the end of the year and have one left and just know what it is already. So I'm going to go through the 20 challenges that I have in here. The first one is to read a book published this year. I don't really look ahead to the books that are coming out, in 2016 or in the coming year, because there are so many books that I have to read that, haven't, that are from past years. And that's not to say I don't anticipate new releases, but I just don't focus so much time and energy on, seeking out what's new out there. I want to read a lot of new releases, but it'll be fun to pick one whenever I pull this one out. The next thing is a book you own but haven't read yet. I have tons of books I own and haven't read yet, so that'll be pretty easy. A dreaded romance novel. Read a dreaded romance novel. I'm not a big romance fan. I don't mind the romance storylines in books, but I don't know how well I'll handle a book just about a romance. So we'll see how that goes, but I want to challenge myself to read things that I'm not super comfortable with. Read a book from somebody from your hometown. I tried to look and I didn't see a lot of people from Houston. I Googled Houston authors and things like that. There was one guy, Justin something, and I was thinking about his, but then I watched a video from, I can't remember her name right now, but she was anticipating a 2016 release by Yoon Ha Lee. And the book looked interesting, so I Googled him, and it turns out he was originally born in Houston, or he is originally from Houston. He's a Korean American author, who was born in Houston, so I might be able to read some of his books for that. The next one, number 5, is read a book someone recommended. That's easy enough. There's tons of recommendation videos, or I can get somebody in my personal life to recommend a book. Read a book by a female author. Again, that's pretty easy. Read a book by a Black author or just a person of color author. And this is a specific challenge in this jar, but it's something that I want to challenge myself to just in life in general, in the future. So from here throughout the future. So of course my computer wants to go to sleep while I'm reading this. Okay. Number 8 is read a book with a 1-word title. That's easy enough. Read a book about overcoming adversity, a true story. So some kind of memoir type story. Read a book you were supposed to read in school but didn't. There's honestly not that many books I was supposed to read in school but didn't. The only thing I can think of that I did not fully read is The Great Gatsby, and that's only because the teacher made us read the first chapter and the last chapter and then watch the movie. That was all that was expected of us with that book. Number 11 is read a book that came out the year you were born. I was born in 1986. I'm 29 years old. I will be 30 this year, so that'll be fun to find a book that came out that year. Number 12 is read a book that Carl picks under 400 pages. So when we first started dating, he let me borrow Dune, and I didn't read it, and I gave it back to him, and he didn't talk to me for a while. And he says that's not the reason, that just life got overwhelming or whatever. But I think that's part of the reason, because that's one of his very favorite books. I may read it someday, but I don't want him to be like, here, read Dune. So under 400 pages. When I told him about this being one of the challenges in my jar, he said that if I were to pull that right now, the book he would want me to read is Brainquake. So that might be something I read this year. Let's see. Number 13 is read a book you can finish in a day. I really surprised myself by reading Cinder in like a day. So, you know, length doesn't really matter. When I think of books you can finish in a day, I'm like little teeny tiny books. Cinder's not too long, but I mean, I finished that pretty quickly. I was surprised. But I also finished, you know, The Deathly Hallows in a day. So next one, read a book you started but never finished. That'll probably be Divergent. Oh no, not Divergent. That'll be Allegiant, the end of the Divergent trilogy. Number 15 is read a book written by somebody under 30. This is the year I turned 30, so it's kind of like, it's a big milestone, but it's also just kind of, I wanted to be a writer when I was a kid. When I read The Outsiders and found out, you know, S.C. Hinton wrote it and she was like a young girl, I really like admired that, and so I think that, you know, it's really important. I don't know, I just really look forward to reading something by somebody 30 and under, and that's not to say I haven't read things by people who are under 30, but it's just something specifically that I'm going to be looking towards. Read a popular author's first book. I'm really excited about this one, but I want to find an author who's written like a shitload of books, like, excuse my French or whatever, but just that's written like a ton of books, and find like Stephen King or something and read his very first book or something. Let's see, read a book based on a true story. So this, when I think of this, I think of like true crime or something, which is something that I really enjoy. So, you know, there's that. Read an LGBTQA plus book. And again, this is something that I just want to challenge myself to in general. But it's also a specific challenge in the jar. Number 19 is read a memoir. And I know I have the true story memoir overcoming adversity one. But when I think of that one, I want that one to specifically be some kind of like, you know, somebody who's overcome. And for like read a memoir, this could be something like, you know, the Mindy Kaling books that I recently read this year and whatnot. And then the last one is read a banned book. That's pretty easy. I've read tons of banned books, and I love learning the stories behind why a book is challenged and why a book is banned. Some of them are hilarious. The reasoning that people have, just they don't always make sense to me. But so those are my 20 challenges in my TBR challenge jar. Are you going to be doing a TBR challenge jar or anything this year? What is your New Year's reading resolution? Leave me a comment, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. You can follow me on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram, JJJJanis. Janice. I think I put an extra J in there or something like that. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your year. Bye.